Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Data and AI Lounge, where ideas and technologies converge and spin off. This is Michele Arpaia, and in today's episode, we welcome Andrei and Eleni from the Data and AI Global Black Belt team at Microsoft. They've come up with a brilliant idea, I would hasten to say, that simplifies the way we look at the whole data services portfolio in Azure. The code name for this project is ALBERO. ALBERO Project. ALBERO meaning tree, a tree to navigate through the amazing Azure ecosystem. All right, Andrei, you are too comfortable on that lounge. Please stand up and come on stage.
Thanks, Michele. So I will be very short here, right? So that's the portfolio of the data services we have, right? And it's just like the core data services, right? Core databases, core data manipulation engines, streaming, everything like data warehousing, a lot of different things, right? And our marketing quite often, or cloud marketing in general, quite often refers to that as a Lego bricks, right? But in reality, these are not Lego bricks at all. So these are very complex engineering solutions. So no bricks beyond this point. And the question which was quite oftenly asked by our customers, by our partners, by our internal guys, right, is how to navigate across that, right? So we were thinking of, okay, how our field, how our engineers, how our customers navigating through this landscape? And quite often we see one of the three things which happen, right? It's either experience, for example, yeah, I was happy with this product, with the product X, and it was always helpful to use that. It was always successful, right? So I will use that in each and every situation. Another option is just a preference. So for example, for this use case, I prefer technology X, I don't know. And well, and the worst and the most interesting one is beliefs. So I believe that this functionality exists, for example, right, in the or that this service will be better fit for this particular case, right? And there are some certain problems apparently with this approach because we cannot control the failure rate, right? And quite often what we see at the later stages, people are coming and saying, okay, you know what, for some weird reason, this service doesn't fit, right? And also, we have all the documentation online, and but the trick is, and that's a very well-known paradox, right, is that increasing knowledge actually increases understanding, but to the certain point. And after that, the more information you got, the more confusion you've got about the service, for example, about the offering, about the limitations, and so on. And with a portfolio of the services, and these ones like were just the main services, not even the tiers of these services, not pricing, not development, not SDKs, right? With increasing of the knowledge of the information, confusion increases. So that's exactly, this is the line where we have tried to create this ALBERO project and try to show that exactly the amount of information people need to make a decision, right?
I particularly like this kind of overload, the cognitive overload. We are swamped with information, and that is, I think, as you said, rightly said, this tool helps you navigate that amount of information at the right point where you can actually that information start making sense and not losing meaning. On this, maybe Eleni can chime in. Maybe you can walk us through from a business perspective and say, well, if you have suppose that I have a problem, so I'm trying to figure what tools, data services I need to use. I'm in love with Azure. I already bought Azure, but now I'm at the point where I need to navigate and make sure that my choice is the right one for my workload. How the tools comes into the picture.
Okay, so basically we're going to take an example in order to show that in a more understanding way. The example will come from the data from the gaming space. So imagine we have a customer that is operating in a massively online player game, and they want to track all and collect all the events that come from a single game. After they store these events, they want to do some near real-time analysis on those. And for that, they need to identify the right services to do so. So basically, what we are going to introduce is two different patterns to do so. Basically, this is the map and the maze that we are going to navigate through. We have the different write profiles, the bulky writes, individual updates, and append mainly. In our example, we are going to store events as long as they arrive on the service, and we are speaking about events. We're not going to update any of those after they are stored. And for that reason, it seems that we are going to land on the event hub. Now, for the near real-time analysis, we're speaking about the reads. So in that sense, we're going to check the different types of read profiles. It seems that we are mostly making bulk reads and mostly on time series data. So for that, we see that we land on another service, Azure Data Explorer, and we see that these are two different services, right? The good thing on this map is that basically there is the integration services already on here. So basically we can say that we can ingest the data from the Event Hub directly to the Azure Data Explorer, have them available there, and then play with those as we want, either through visualization or through queries with the KQL language supported. And this was just an example. There are more examples explained on the article that we have published on LinkedIn.
So basically on the tool, we have two views as I'm gathering there. One is the one that Eleni showed, and there is another alternative view perspective, more oriented towards developers. Is that correct?
Yes, so I can just show that very quickly.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
So we have another view which is available through developer view link here, and if we're talking about these two, the pair of these two, right, Event Hub and Azure Data Explorer, we can see that basically these are the things supported, the SDKs, the purple ones, right, and here are the more or less same SDKs. But not all of them are the same, right? For example, C is not supported in Azure Data Explorer, but some other things for data analysis, for example, are, right? And also we see that there is a special language here, which is Custo, which is specific for ADX. Also, we see the supported file formats, and we see some important constraints when it comes to the result set in ADX. And we have some important constraints here when it comes to the max message size for Event Hub, which is important when you're planning and developing your app. Basically, that's it in a nutshell.
Is very good. So, call to action. I'm interested. What am I going to do? Can you share it once again for our audience the link to the website, and hopefully from the website, as you said, there is a link to all the Microsoft documentations, and also to the article on LinkedIn, which I think I read through that. It's very exhaustive and explained the reason why behind it, and why you guys did it, and how to navigate it. That was really fantastic. I don't know if you ever you can reshare the screen. We can actually share the link to the tool.
Yeah, I think the link will be in the description, right? So basically, we have the LinkedIn article published on LinkedIn. Surprise, surprise! Yeah. And indeed, this explains in some details how this whole thing works, and how to navigate through that, which is basically, yeah, which is here. One sec. So the article comprised out of 4 chapters. Mm-hmm. Then it's just some explanation around the read and write profiles, what we think about that and how we structure that. Then we're explaining in detail some navigation basics and what you can find, what features you can find, how to use those. And then also we have 4 use cases described by Eleni and Elizabeth from Australia team. explaining how to use these decision trees, right? So some of them are more focused on analytics, for example. Some others are focused on HTTP workloads. And in the chapter 4, we have all the links also to the tool and to the GitHub repo, which is very important, because what we are doing right now is that also in the tool, you can just click contact and feedback, and it will lead you to the GitHub repo. It's open repo. And if you have any questions, any feedback, whatever, just raise an issue here. And also you can see that there is already some things in the pipeline, in the roadmap for this tool. So it's
That's really great. Very open platform. Guys, thank you very much for being with me today. It's been very useful. And next up, we're going to have the episode number 2, new guest lined up. Stay tuned.
Thanks, man.